Have you ever stared at this screen and just done the same thing over and over again and loaded a preloaded tactic into Football Manager 2023? Well, on this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your own tactic from scratch and give you all the tips that I have to make the best tactics for the team that you are in Football Manager 2023. My first tip is to look at the squad that you have got and look at your core set of players that are in your team that are over 3.5 star towards the 4-star, 5-star in your squad, and build your tactic around them, because these are going to be the players that are going to be playing 9.9 games out of 10 for you. So you want to build a tactic that gets the best out of these players. And for this example, we are using Manchester United, and we're going to look at players like Bruno Fernandes. He's an attacking midfield player, plays AMC is his best position. You've got players like Rafa Varane, ball-playing centre-back, Marcus Rashford, Christian Eriksen and Casemiro. So you know that for this tactic, it's most likely going to be a 4-2-3-1 tactic that you play with Manchester United, given the players that you've got, the wingers, the strikers, and the defenders, and the cams as well. When you're in this tactic screen, building it from scratch, you will notice that there's these little thumbs up against some of the type of tactical plays that you have in these styles. So Steve McLaren, the assistant manager, is saying that gegenpress, tiki-taka or vertical tiki-taka suits Manchester United to the ground. So what we're going to do is, for this example, we are going to go to gegenpress, as we know this suits. It brings up the formation here if you click formation, and then you'll see another little thumbs up here as well. You could play a 4-2-3-1, you could also play a 4-3-3, but you are going to need to play, in my opinion, I think Steve McLaren has got this wrong, the Wally with the brolly, doesn't know what he's talking about. You are going to have to play a 4-2-3-1, in my opinion, because you're going to want Bruno Fernandes at cam. Once you've preliminary built the tactic, you want to come over to your squad planner. You want to click on report and then comparison, and you want to see how your team compares to the rest of the league in terms of things like average age, height, player wages and stuff are very important. But from a tactical perspective, you want to see how your goalkeepers are doing in the abilities that they have. So make sure you untick midfielders and strikers, because there's no point looking at their goalkeeping stats. And as you can see, reflexes, you are the best one in the league. But you can see you've probably identified here a bit of a transfer target. You need a goalkeeper that can play out, can throw it out, who can command his area as well. And go through all of these ones here to make sure that your attack, midfield and defence is also on par with the kind of tactic that you want to play. Looking at the physicals, you really want to look at these as well, because this will show what kind of tactic can we play. Can we play the gegenpress formation? Can we press very well? Can we not? Do we have to sit off the ball? Do we have to play a slower tempo? And this is where you find out those kind of things in here. And for the technical wise, you want to see if you can keep the ball. Can you play possession football? Can you not play possession football? And this is all the sort of stuff that assistant manager with the thumbs up has also taken into consideration whilst you're building the tactics. Now, if we go over to the tactics, that will allow us to make some tactical tweaks to this formation. And what we want to do is we want to put our best players in the roles that they're currently in and see what we can get out of them. We've put the players in a quick pick from the assistant manager, but what we're going to do is you want to make sure you want to maximise each player's potential in their playing position by playing them in the right position of their team. So you go into here, you click, you see, okay, we've got Bruno Fernandes, he's better on support. That will get more out of Bruno Fernandes than you can actually think. And what you should do as well is go into the players, click into the players, see what stats they've got. So for example, Jadon Sancho here, we know he's very good at dribbling, he's a very good passer, very good technique, he's got great agility. He's not too pacey, but he's not slow at the same time. He hasn't got the strength to hold the ball up. So what you want him to do is knock the ball past and run on, in my opinion. So you want someone like Jadon Sancho on attack, and you can see which one works for him the best. You could go inside forward attack, inverted winger attack would also work just as well for someone like Jadon Sancho. And make sure you go through all of these players, making sure they're in the right role for the team and the right role for them. What I've done now is, as you can see, we've got the best out of the squad that we could with this Man United team, changing the players' roles and making them fit better into this tactic as we're building the tactic. As we progress now into possession, what we want to look out for is, do we want to play out from defence? Have we got two ball-playing centre-backs? And in this example, we do. We've got two ball-playing centre-backs in Lisandro Martinez and in Rafa Varane, and they're their best position for them on the team. So playing it out of defence is absolutely fine. Make sure that your defenders are very comfortable at passing and they've got great technique as well. Slightly shorter passing is fine in this instance. Higher tempo because we've looked and we've got great physicals for the squad. Now, we could put on be more expressive. If you've got a lot of wingers that have a lot of flair like we do in players like Anthony and Jadon Sancho, you're going to want them to be expressive. You're going to want them to beat their man. You're going to want them to take on their man. You're going to want Anthony to do 500 step overs and turn their left back into spaghetti. In transition, we want to counter and counter press because, like we've seen, we've got great physicals for the league. However, we don't want to distribute quickly from the goalkeeper because that is a sweeper keeper's trait. And David De Gea is not a sweeper keeper, and he's the goalkeeper that we have using FM23's example. Next season when they have Onana, you could add in distribute quickly to this also. And then out of possession, as we've got good physicals, we want to be pressing high line of press, and we want to be playing a high defensive line. But make sure that you've got pace at centre-back and at full-back, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to get caught out with balls over the top. Now, one way of stopping this is to put one of your centre-backs on cover. That will really help cover those gaps in behind when the AI is looking for balls over the top and balls in behind. Particularly against pacier teams who have pacier strikers, you could adjust your tactic and bring down your defensive line slightly more to stop that happening again and again. And then what you want to do is trigger press much more often. As we know, we've got the physicals, and what I find works well, if you've got players with great tackling, great strength, great stamina, you want to tell your players to get stuck in, and you want players to be physical. You want to win the ball back quick and move quickly in transition up the field. And I think that will be the perfect starting tactic for Manchester United on FM23. Use those tips to build a tactic with any team you are. They're quick fire tips and they will never set you wrong. Make sure you've got the players for the formation you want to pick and the type of style you want to pick as well. There is no point picking a Gengham press formation when you've got players with low stamina who can't press and who will be tired at halftime. It will just lead to weak performance after weak performance, and you'll end up getting yourself very frustrated. My next tip and last tip would be to copy your tactic into the 3 slots so the AI doesn't get to know your tactic that well. And by this, what you can do is you can change up small things in the tactic. So away from home, you could play balanced. If you're playing an easy team, you could move, these central midfield players from DMs to CMs and be a little bit more progressive up the pitch. Just make sure you have 3 different options of the same tactic in your tactical setup here, and you will outsmart the AI every single time. Make sure you don't just keep spamming the same tactic for 20-30 games, because that's where these mid-season slumps come in, and then you end up trying a new tactic and you don't work because your team's not familiar with that tactic. But if you make small tweaks in position 2 and position 3, you won't have that issue ever again. And if you haven't already, please do like this video, sub to the channel, and let me know what tactical tips you want in the comments below, and I will see you on the next video.